Get up, detective. One last time.
Jeszcze raz przejrzę te zadanka. Spytaj Gate'a. To teraz może podejdziemy do ciała i spiszemy tam coś, nie? Będzie dało radę? Opisać w faktach?
There he still is, looking right through you.
Nie, nie da się. Dwunasta 16. Idziemy się spytać Gate'a o ubranka. Teraz jak już może mam te Esprit de Corps, to może bym zadzwonił jeszcze raz do tych policjantów. Chociaż ni cholerę nie mam pojęcia, czy to coś da. To, że mam 1 punkt umiejętności więcej.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my stuff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the
Spokojnie, to,
trash.
że ty tego nie widzisz, nie znaczy, że tego nie zrobili.
The elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to... Thank you anyway.
Yes.
Okej, staliśmy z zadanka. O coś jeszcze go miałem spytać? Spytaj Kuna, czy coś wie o ubraniach ofiary w śmietniku. No nie, no trochę słabo, nie? Niebesna barmanka. Lombard. Aha, no nie da się powstrzymać od ruchu wymiotnego, nie mam wytrzymałości, nie mam maski, może jakaś maska w Lombardzie, cokolwiek. Pójdziemy do Lombardu, może znajdę broń. Gdzie jest Lombard? Co to jest? To jest biblioteka. Gdzie tu możemy zejść? Tu jest raport. A, torba. Mam torbę jakąś w ręce? O, niestety nie.
The worn and beaten wooden
We can sit on benches after we've solved...
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass.
Okej. Ta babeczka co robiła?
You're back.
Ogrodniczka.
Of course. What can I help you with? Of course. Where to?
Bez sensu. Szukał Lombardu
What
konkretnie.
do you mean? We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called Roundabout North. No problem. Of course. I won't.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Mam już rękawice. Czy to jest Lombard?
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
Dobry koleś.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires. Yeah, imagine. It's been So tell me, what do you need? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal
Relax. He's merely joking.
Jesteś aresztowany. O matko.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane and half the... I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like...
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Ale to jest fajnie zbudowane to wszystko
Anything
tutaj.
else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Well, not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer...
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. The bosses, man. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had, say, 4 myself. Don't be a stranger.
Okej, kim ty jesteś?
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolation. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my... But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually...
Silence. The air between your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Look, as detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fuck.
Damn, you're not gonna get more out of him on this. He's put up the wall of racism.
Yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license, and sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient, very goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck him right up the ass. Mark my word.
Dobra, nie ma sensu. Zobaczymy, co to jest. Aha, czyli tutaj ogrodnik i nic tutaj nie ma, nie?
Is this about the questions again? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... I don't know, really. Not really. No. I didn't know him at all.
Dobra, dzięki. Taka niezbyt mądra babka. Straciłem czas tutaj. Zręczne palce. Ale że co? Pięknie. Mam rękawice. Jak ja wyglądam zajebiście. Zada 33 reali. Ale siłek wielki. Kasa? Tak jest. Jakieś auto nawet. Wczoraj ktoś tu siedział chyba.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if
Nieważne. Bokserka. I tą bokserkę można sobie na coś nałożyć. No nie, bo to za koszulę będzie konceptualizacja. Tutaj co? Ciało jako narzędzie. Nie, to lepiej. Kasiora. Ej, bogacimy się.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on the photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes and no response. Wherever this woman is, you're nothing. Her smile just keeps widening.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman.
Okej.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables.
Nie ma tu nic ciekawego. O!
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy grad-made machine is... The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large...
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here. You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have... Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Maybe you should ask them the questions, like, why we have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. And try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel, bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are... Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then...
Okej.
Scott?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever... Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. I don't believe you. Post L'Aventurier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his hands.
Idę dalej. Tak, eksplorujemy troszkę, nie? A co to za...
Buddy betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Aplo...
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Look at my craniology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink you gave the world. Eugenic. You dominated. List will be superseded. Isn't that right?
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. Enough with this begging. You should bring your troops to the Simonine Island.
Ale pieprzenie.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's rape. The best idea. Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point a receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vred, the Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are 2 yellow and diogenes overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to el mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food. As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The the Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic.
Ja pierdzielę, to jest
The
masakra.
latter is perfected and adapting. Together,
Nature was not capable of more.
you need to know both types A and
Yeah.
type B are the unheroic races.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish. Like a hat. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through sen. The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
The Vasholians.
Ja nie mogę tego czytać już, masakra, takie bzdury. Wy sobie możecie pauzować, ale ja nie dam rady.
You tried your degenerate living.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath region. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. Enough of type mediocrity. Types CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. It would be cruel to entertain ourselves with their deformities. Were there any able-bodied race? You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love racists. I am not like them. I am chronic. Your silence there is nothing fun. I cannot
Masakra.
imagine what else we have to discuss. Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision, and also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. Of course you are, Revacholian man. The failure of community above all.
Ale koleś jest
Rampant
irytujący.
multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? The offshoots of the Simonese people invented disco while having sex. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural. The South Island race.
Jezus Maria.
We are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulembuir are with me in my... No. I have heard about it on the radio. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. And
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next race...
That will be the...
that is understandable. The previous racist was...
These cops are just jealous, Jean-Luc.
Masakra. Nic nie wskurałem tutaj. Idziemy na dół. Nic tu nie ma. Aha, to tak można zejść? Nie wiedziałem. Dobra, gdzie będzie Lombard? Tu jeszcze do portu możemy zejść na chwilę.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Where?
Nie, nieważne. No co się... Coś tu jest? Pozbieramy trochę mamony. A panienka?
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat.
Good afternoon, officers. Joyce L. Messier.
Ah,
I
dokładnie.
represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Dobre, pachnie chyba bogata.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your...
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragiego from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic
Amnezja
amnesia.
encefalopatyczna.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share in...
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Feelings will guide the way.
No i dupa.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something...
You're doing it, despite your own best...
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to just... The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not... Or you can find your badge, which honest...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply another...
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Tak jest.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. No, if there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the...
The situation might have changed drastically.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the...
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach... Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial...
Gnojek z jabłkami.
If you find this...
Uncovering
go znalazłem.
secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company... This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been... Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto...
Well, at least this solves...
What is that?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wonder...
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kitsuragiego, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least... It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. Of course, detective.
Co to? Powód pamięci o wydarzeniach. Niech robi, niech robi. Okej, spokojnie. Jeśli chodzi o YouTube'a, pójdziemy porozmawiać z tymi kierowcami w kolejnym odcinku. Jeżeli zapraszam.